All right, I think we might be live now. Yep, I got the error, so we're definitely live. All right, good morning.
Good
Every
morning.
time it gets me,
Good
I'm like,
morning.
I refresh the page and we're there. All right, good morning. My name is Jillian. I am the Vice President of Marketing Communications and Strategies for CEO Consulting Group. And if I had a name badge, it would be very long. My title is really long. Just kidding. We're still waking up. All right. I'm here with Kelly Featheringham of Team Leadership Solutions and Heather McElrath of Sandbox Communications. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
I'm also in Virginia today, enjoying your gorgeous, very UK energy weather, like loving this drizzly. I literally walked 4 miles in the rain yesterday. It was beautiful and misty, like living in a whimsical wonderland. I loved it. But the day I got here, it felt like I brought the swamp of Florida all the way up here with me. I went running and I thought I was drowning when I was running in the air.
Welcome
So
to summer up here.
yeah, very bipolar, kind of
Sticky.
inconsistent. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I'm excited to be up here in Virginia for a couple of days, taking a little bit of a respite from the heat down south and enjoying this gorgeous, random, cold, cool, wet weather. So this is delightful. Today we're going to continue our conversation and possibly wrap it up. We'll see how far we get into this as we kind of play it by ear, week over week. But we're going to continue our conversation around the mid-year check-in, and we want to make sure that you're taking time to pause, taking time to reflect, taking time to gain understanding about your goals, where you want to go, where you've come from, how your metrics are lining up, and are your KPIs and everything that you've put together in the first part of this year, are you seeing the return on investment that you should be seeing? And if not, what do we need to do to flex? And so we've been talking about this for a few weeks now. And if you haven't had a chance to watch any of the past ones, I highly recommend go back and watch the last few, maybe three. I think we've been talking about this about 3 weeks. And you can see the titles in the videos. But if you haven't had a chance to go through and assess your business kind of holistically, to kind of do a quick recap, what we've talked about in the past couple of videos is we started off with reviewing goals and your budget, which is a really important thing to do in your mid-year check-in. We also talked about what you want to do with analyzing what's working. So taking time to identifying like high performing offers or strategies, maybe seeing what's not working and what is working, and then not investing in what's not working anymore and putting the energy into what's working. And then we talked about identifying areas for improvement, like and going, oh, okay, I'm not really liking those results, and being able to say that, like being unattached, because a lot of times I hear people say things like, oh, I've been spending a lot of money on that ad or something. And I'm like, oh, cool. Is it working? No, but it's up for renewal, so I'll just change it out. Why? Why would you, if it didn't work the first, why are you still, anyway, so identify areas for improvement, realign your focus, getting really clear about your goals, your direction, everything you want to be as a business, and streamlining your processes, making sure you're not overpaying for subscriptions, making sure that you're using the software and tools and resources that you need to be using. And then today we want to talk about engaging with customers, investing in your development as a professional, and of course, taking care of yourself. So I want to start with, that's our big recap. Sorry, that was a little bit long, but I want to start off talking about engaging with our customers. And as business owners, it can be really tricky. We are busy. Investing time in the clients is a gift and a task. And if you're task avoidant in any way, shape, or form, or if you are in any version of burnout or decision-making fatigue, deepening relationships through feedback and meaningful connections can feel like a nightmare. And I am a great example of that, as I get nervous and avoid people like the plague. So I would love to hear from the two of you who are very different personalities from me, and experienced in different ways. how do you engage with your customers to both deepen those relationships and gain feedback that is meaningful and helps move you forward to build and strengthen connections with your clients? And on my screen, Kelly, you're first, but I'm not married to who goes first. So if,
Thank you. So it's funny because when you brought this topic up, I was trying to think about from a leadership perspective and how it applies and how I do this. Like you, I tend to be a little bit shy and sometimes it's hard. Like for direct feedback of, oh, how are we doing? I like feedback. I'm not really very thin-skinned, so I like the good and the bad because I feel like you can grow. The thing I think that's unique to how I build engagement and solicit feedback is I really try to not take a one size fits all approach. Um, when I first started, I would send out a weekly email to my clients and check in with a list of all of the things, and that worked really well for some clients, and other clients provided me feedback that that was really stressful. Like you're gonna check in with me on Friday, like I have to do homework, I have to remember stuff, and that's not moving them forward. It's actually making them freeze. So I quickly realized that like so much of the other things that I do in my business, there isn't a one size formula. So typically with different clients, with different programs that I'm doing, we'll chat about it. What works for you? Do you want me to check in weekly? Do you want a nudge? Do you want an email? Do you want me to wait for you to reach out? So we kind of establish some protocols on what works for them. And then I have a notebook where I keep track of everybody so that I don't mix it up. And sometimes I do, but most of the time I make sure that if someone says, please don't email me every week, check in with me every other week, or some people like checklists of this is the progress, others like summaries of where we're at. So just trying to make sure that I'm meeting each of them where they are so that they can feel supported in a way that's comfortable, but still, I also don't want to give them a free pass, right? We don't want to, if I'm here to help you move forward, I'm not going to just disappear,
Mhm.
but try and find something that feels comfortable so that it's going to be motivating and supportive, but not overwhelming.
So when you get, if I could ask a follow-up question,
Yeah.
when you are working with your customers or your clients, and you're engaging them in that way where it's kind of like bespoke, it's customized, it's you're meeting them where they are. How do you do that without burning out? Like, do you have templates for different types of communication patterns so that you kind of have like maybe five different types and they go, do you prefer this type, or this type? And then they go, I like this way. And then that's kind of like already preset for you. Or is it really like you have to like sit down and go, okay, this is this person and you have to map it all out. How do you do it? And how do you keep from burning out? Because that sounds like a lot to me. Is that a lot to you?
It can be. I think the interactions are, so I live by my calendar, so everything goes in there. So if someone wants to be like I have a client that I check in with every Friday. On my calendar at 8 o'clock, I have a reminder to send that out. And usually it's already done because I'll have a couple of templates ready and I save them in my drafts of my email with the different dates. And then I just go in there and update if we talked about something or if there's questions or things like that. So while it is somewhat templated, I guess, like the protocols are templated, but then I go in and I try to make sure that I'm talking about whatever challenges or discussions or situations if they're looking for. Sometimes I'll send things like people will ask me for book recommendations, or I do have a lot at this point now after 7 years. I have a lot of forms and guides and workbooks and worksheets and a lot of those things. So I can take those and repurpose them for where they're appropriate. Some people may want this one or that one. So I have a whole library where I have them and I can go in there and I can pick and choose and be like, oh, they're looking for something to help them with public speaking, right? So then I have a couple of things there. I'll send a video or whatnot. So does that answer your question? I
Yeah,
guess it is time consuming, but I in the morning usually I block off some time for um that kind of activity.
okay. I love that. That's great. Heather, how do you engage with your customer base? So I feel like it's important to differentiate that. Kelly, do you spend I'm kind of making an assumption here with you too. So based off of what I know about you, so correct me if I'm wrong. I believe you spend more time in person with your clients, and Heather, you spend more time virtually with your clients. Would that be accurate, or is that an inaccurate statement? Are you more virtual, Kelly, or and then
For
same with
me now, it's almost mostly all virtual.
it is? Okay.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
same
I'll
with
do some workshops for organizations in person, but believe it or not, now with time and effort and commuting and people being back in the office, a lot of folks prefer virtual, which is great, means I can support more people.
right, absolutely. Okay, so what about you, Heather? So I guess we're still talking virtual then. You're virtual as well. So talk to me about your way of deepening relationships with your customers. And then because you take it from that digital marketing space, how would you recommend people doing it? Not just how do you do it, how do you recommend people doing it where it's meaningful to their digital experience?
So for me, one of the benefits of the digital is that I have analytics and I get weekly analytics for all of my clients. So I look at those and see what's going on, and I try to anticipate needs. I try to look at those analytics and see what's good, what's bad, what do we need to change, and I try to reach out before they reach out to me. And that's one of the things that I think is really important is being their resource and being a source of information that is accurate and trustworthy. And so for me, trying to anticipate their needs and reaching out before they even ask is how I deepen that relationship, how I really work with them. Um, it for me, that is a little bit easier, because I get those analytics. But if you're talking about, for example, maybe a brick and mortar store or something like that, maybe it's you have a database where you keep people's birthdays or anniversaries or information, and you send a card or you send an email that says, hey, your birthday is coming up. Is there something we can help you with? Um,
Mhm.
Now, personally, a little bit of a side note, really, really hate the emails that are like, it's your birthday, here's a 25% discount so that you can spend money at my store for your birthday. So for me, the key
Unless
is,
it's like anthropology. I just want to say that if they would like to send me 20, if they'd like to give me 50% off, are they listening at anthropology with an I? Give me 50% off for my birthday. It was on Mother's Day. You missed it. Okay, go ahead. Didn't
I
even hear
adore that. That's
yours.
wonderful. And I know that I'm a bit odd in my stance on this, but for me, the biggest thing about deepening a relationship is it's not about me, it's about them. And that's a big key in marketing too. It's not about me, it's
Yeah,
about them. And so
absolutely.
if everything I do is it's your birthday, here spend money with me. It's the holidays, here spend money with me. That's not deepening the relationship. That's
Absolutely.
I'm not quite sure what the word is, but so
Business narcissism, it's egocentric. So
yeah,
it's like this is benefiting me, it's manipulating you by making you think that I'm giving you something in return that is actually like a price tag.
yeah. And so for me, it really is, how do I help my client? How do I help them better? It, it is naive, it is simplistic, it is a lot of things, but for me, it's true to my heart is that I want my client to succeed. So how can I help my client succeed? And putting them first, that's where I connect. That's where I deepen the things. At least that's how I hope I'm deepening them, and how I hope that I am really creating um, a, a long-term relationship. Because the other thing with digital is that it is not one and done. Frankly, marketing in general is not one and done. It is a long-term, ongoing relationship because
Right.
the economy changes, what we like changes, things evolve, and
Yeah.
our businesses, especially in marketing,
Mhm.
have to evolve as well. So,
Yeah.
and in terms of like what I would recommend, is there a way for you to tap into what your client needs, and how can you help support that? And hopefully that will pay dividends. And that's, again, there are some businesses and some business people who will say that I am naive or stupid and that I should be doing things differently. But I will also say the one thing that I've come to learn is that I'm not going to listen to others. I'm going to listen to what I believe and how I want to do business, because that's why I got into business, is that I want to do better for my clients.
I want to
Think-
say one thing. Heather said she tries to think ahead what her clients need, and I want to be like Heather in this because she has this sixth sense where she will send me stuff randomly and be like, "You might want to read this," and literally like later that day, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, Heather just sent me something about this. I needed this today." So I don't know how she does it. She's probably got a camera somewhere in my office, but she always knows what to send me 20 minutes before I need it, which is fabulous.
I love that. That's great. Yeah, I definitely think caring for your clients and cultivating deeper relationships with them can be really interesting challenge for a business owner because depending on what type of business owner you are, introverted, extroverted, are you a single mom running a business? Are you paired with a partner that helps you? Are you paired with a partner that's useless? Are you and your partner both business owners? Are you like, I don't know, what's your situation? Like, what happens around you on a day-to-day basis that by the time you get to your business, how do you show up for it? And if you're having a hard time showing up in meaningful ways for your client base, put a framework together. Go on ChatGPT and say, I'm exhausted. Act as my operations manager and put together a surprise and delight plan for my customers that I could follow once a quarter. I mean, at the bare minimum, if you can't talk to your clients once a quarter, maybe you need to hire help or shut it down. So, like, if you're really that overwhelmed, we need to talk. Like, come talk to someone. Let us help you. Like, don't shut it down. Let us help you. You know, it's probably just you need a little bit of support, and that's why we're here. But it's like one of those things where we're in a world that tells us we have to be all CEO and no other thing until we're in that other thing. And then we have to be all wife, all mom, all home caregiver, all taxi driver, all nurse, all whatever those other roles as if we don't have those other hats. And that pressure is unrealistic, but it's heavy and it's real. And everybody has a little bit of heavy pressure in other areas. Maybe family members put pressure on them in different hats that they wear. And it takes a big toll on us. So when we talk about doing a mid-year check-in and we talk about caring for your clients, have you been overwhelmed in the first half of the year and forgotten about your clients? Have you had meaningful connections with them? And if you haven't, it's okay, but let's pick it up and keep going. It's never too late to re-engage with your people. And of course, if you have a meaningful way that you've connected with your clients, I would love to hear about it in the chat. So feel free to comment below. The next thing I want to talk about is investing in your professional development, which will segue into taking care of yourself because I think it's kind of twofold. I think everyone needs to be investing in their personal development and their professional development at all times because your growth is going to fuel your business. And if you're able to stay in a place where you're cared for, meaning not just your basic human needs are cared for, but you're cared for as a whole woman and able to walk into your workspace, whatever that might look like, whether it's like literal, you go to a business or you're like me, you just sit at your laptop. If you're able to walk into your workspace, all of your needs are taken care of and you're walking in with just today is a work day, think about how much more creative you can show up. Think about how much you're in your logic you can show up. If you have a lot of stress around you and you have a lot of chaos going on around you and you're having a hard time organizing yourself, maybe you're a little ADHD, maybe you're a little overwhelmed by the circumstances of your life in this season, maybe you're just simply having a hard time remembering. Sometimes we go through that. Maybe you're going through menopause and that heavily impacts your brain. It gives you brain fog and makes things very complicated. And if you're like me having hot flashes, just freaking walk around with a neck fan all the time because I literally freeze. I can't function and my brain stops. And I could be like dead in the middle of a conversation with a client giving them a strategy, be like, please stop talking. I'm now what? And I can't think. And like my brain just shuts down. And like that's a real thing. I'm a whole human and I'm a real person and I still have to have a job. I still have to communicate with clients. And when we talk about taking care of ourselves as a whole person, that includes personal and professional development. So for me, what that looks like is I have a life coach and I have, well, at the time, a business coach, which was Tina. I work for her now. So I have a forever coach now. which is a little bit different. I don't want to make you guys jealous, but like I really do have a forever coach. And so it's delightful and I love Tina so much. Um, but I have a life coach that I meet with pretty regularly, pretty much weekly. And I use that sometimes to talk business stuff because I need to process through something I'm struggling with. But a lot of times it's to talk about the heavy life stuff where it's not so much therapy as much as it's just me processing whatever I'm stuck in. Because then when I'm done with that conversation, that's 1 hour that's blocked in my week that allows me to process. But then I can go sit in my other hats much better. I'm no longer processing those conversations or loops. I can go put my work hat on and then I'm here. I'm fully present. I'm able to function in my logic and I'm able to be what my clients need me to be. And it's because I'm caring for both sides of my life and meeting both sides of my needs. And so when we talk about investing in your development, that's kind of what we're talking about is what are you doing to invest in yourself? So I'm curious to know, I'll start with you, Heather. In what ways have you invested in your personal, if you're willing to share that, which no pressure, but personal and or professional development in the past year? And, what did you learn? What has it taught you? How has it helped you?
Um, so professional, definitely, the CEO school has been a huge part of where I am today, and I am very grateful for Kelly for introducing me to it. um, but one of the things that I have been really focused on lately is AI, and I was able to get a scholarship to an organization that I'm taking AI classes from, so that I can expand my knowledge, and my goal is to make my life easier. AI is a tool, but it does, we talk about it a lot. It helps me come up with packages. It helps me figure out um, how I can approach things. I shared this with my classmates. I actually uploaded all of the personality tests that we've taken through the CEO school to ChatGPT and said, I am struggling with this. This is my personality. Tell me, how do I not fix it? How do I approach it? And so it gave me some ideas of how to approach it. And so for me, that has been really, really helpful. Um, but I am constantly reading, looking at things. I'm not a big book reader, but I read everything about search engine optimization, marketing, etc. I'm always reading newsletters. And then personally, I finally realized that I was struggling health wise with my Hashimoto's, and
Mhm.
finally realized I needed to make some changes. And I've made some changes, things like um, boot camps aren't good for me. I need more things like yoga and Pilates because
Right.
those help my body versus beat myself up. And so I'm starting to pay more attention to what I need versus what society says, because society's like, you need more high intensity. No, no, my body needs low intensity and nice and calm. And that's really where I've been focused lately.
I love that. Or, um, I'll go. I guess for me, same thing, right? I mean, I've been involved with Tina now. I did the year one business school, the year two business school. Now I'm in OMG, and I've been a huge advocate of coaching and mentorship for, I don't know, 15 years. Back before I started my company, when I worked in the government, they gave us an executive coach. And in the beginning, I was like, what is this? What is this? What do I have to do about this? I have to study, I have to prep. Like, what is this, more work? What is it? And it turned out to be really life-changing. I mean, she was the catalyst at the beginning for why I ended up starting my own company. So I do think that it's part of walking the walk, right? I mean, I provide mentorship and coaching and support to others, and I really believe that having that person, and Tina, like you said, it's so nice to be able to have somebody that you can just bounce ideas off of, and there's no judgment. It's just there to be a sounding board and someone that has your best interest. I will say that that's an important thing because I have invested in some coaches and some programs over the years that were not great. And unfortunately, I think that that happens to all of us at some times where, you get really excited and it's just not the right fit. So making sure that you find the right fit is really important. But um, like you, I don't work for her, but hopefully she'll be my forever lady. So because it is really nice just to be able, and she always wants to see you do well. She wants to see you do better in whatever you feel that is not what she thinks that is, which I think is important. It kind of goes along with my core value of one size fits all doesn't work for me or for anybody that I know. So she tries to make sure that she talks to you specifically, not you as a person, you as me as Kelly. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she doesn't give advice based on like generalities, but who you are, not someone else. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
has the school has provided a lot of uh what's the words I want? A lot of perspective and a lot of ability to help shape the way I want to do things. And I think one of the key things that really kind of tangential to what you were saying is that we are in a business because we want to be, and it is who we are. And I think, we get caught up in trying to be what other people say we should be.
Mhm.
And really, I think one of the things that over the last 2-3 years for me has been tired of the shoulds, and I'm tired of those, and they haven't worked for me. So if they haven't worked, why can't I now try something that does?
Right.
It takes time and you continue to evolve. I think that's the other thing, that when I started, I thought I had to know it all. And that is so not true. You continue to learn and grow. And I think that's what makes it kind of amazing and fun about owning your own business.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. Um, it's 9:29 and I want to go ahead and just say this. We have one more topic to talk about in this mid-year check-in, and I'm not rushing it. So we're going to push it to next week, and it's taking care of yourself, because this one will take the whole half hour. I am confident of it, because we're going to talk about what it really means to take care of your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual self. We're going to talk about how to nourish yourself properly, meaning Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I'm going to take you all the way back to the science, because your sister likes the science, and I'm always going to take you back there. And then we're going to talk about habits and boundaries and how to keep them in a way that serves you as a whole woman. And so I want to make sure that we spend time on that. But before we hop off, if you do not have a mentor in your life, whether it's personal or professional, guiding you in some way, shape, or form, giving you some direction, being a compass for you, you need to go get. If you would like to talk to any of the three of us, Kelly is an excellent leader. She is an excellent mentor. She is an excellent coach. I appreciate all of the things she has taught me over the years. And she's also an excellent friend. And Heather, again, excellent, excellent, excellent. I just love people, so I'm here to help. But Tina too, we're all here to help you. None of us are here to take advantage of you. We want to put you with the right person, because it's not about who you're with as much as it's about them being the right fit for you. And so our goal with the CEO Sisterhood and with CEO Consulting Group is to make sure that each woman business owner is able to find the right fit for their business. We are not for everyone, but we are open to every woman. So if you want to come and check us out and get to know us, and maybe come and try one of our summer events, or take a do a Zoom with us, or just get to know us, we would love to talk to you a little bit about our sisterhood and our program. And Kelly and Heather, thank you for hopping on. We will see everyone next week for Marketing Monday. Thank you.
Have a great
Bye,
week.
guys.
Bye.